Hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. That was smuggled out of Moscow by the Japanese attaché for the embassy there in Moscow. So it just reached Japan, and we all watched it, and we couldn't believe the Russians. They would do that to poor Norway. But it is what it is. Anyways, guys, Panzer King here, back here in the Lion's Den, bringing you Operation Winter Solace 10.3, Japan's turn. Had to think about that one for a second because there's been so many numbers going around lately. And you can see Norway has fallen to the Soviets, and there's a banner flying in over Oslo. So history is a-changing, that's for sure. But anyways, it's Japan's turn this time, and what is Japan going to do? Japan has 33 bucks right there, and they have decided to buy a few things. And what are they going to buy? Japan has decided to lay down 4 light cruisers. Now we're hoping we get improved construction, because that's what this buy entails. Otherwise, we'll have to take something off the board. We're going to put in a Marine, or 2 Marines rather, an infantry, and 2 SNLF, Special Navy Landing Forces. And that's it. That's all what Japan gets for its money. The light cruisers are to help offset the numbers with all those damn submarines the Americans just put last term. So that's what Japan's going to do for their buys. And we are going to go for improved construction, improved factories, and we're going to switch up heavy carriers now and going to go to anti-submarine warfare, which I'm sure you can understand why. So we need 7s across the board, so we'll roll that first and see what we got. Looks like we got 2 out of 3, so we got a red and a green. What are red and green? Or I guess orange and green. So it looks like we do have improved construction. That's awesome, finally. So that's good. The body can go by. And we move up with anti-submarine warfare. So let's do that. It's nice to finally move Japan's third technology along. And we're going to do anti-submarine warfare as well. So that's Japan's tech right there. Improved factories we did not get. So what is Japan going to do this turn? I don't know. I've been humming and hawing. The U.S. ambassadors and Japanese ambassadors have been talking about possible non-aggression to Hainan Island, one of the last bastions where the KMT is surviving. But we'll see. They obviously have most of their forces in Hong Kong right now, and it's quite a wallop down there. That's actually what they have right there: fortification, airbase, planes. So, and of course the Far East Command itself. So clearly they're at war. So we'll see what happens with them. But Japan has decided, with all these talks in the Pacific, whether or not we should attack Hainan Island or not attack Hainan Island. Japan has decided to do what's best for itself. Hainan Island can survive, and it can remain KMT if the Japanese don't attack it. But inevitably, the CCP will attack. Might take them a turn or two or three, but they will attack. And they will take the Hainan Island. I'm almost guarantee of it. So it's better off if I take it first. I honestly believe it's worth $1. Japan can't do much else this turn. Yes, they could go after Singapore. Yes, they could go after Sydney. Yes, they could maybe try to do a surprise attack on some of the Americans, but fortunately, nothing's really in range. And of course, we have this minor threat here as well to worry about too. But the Americans are still far away from wartime income, right? They still got a few more rolls before that 63 comes about, hopefully anyways. So we're not going to worry about that right now. And we're going to just say, screw it, and do what Japan wants to do for the might of the Imperial Navy. And Japan loves her islands, and she wants to add that one that she had lost to the KMT. And to be fair, the KMT did attack the Japanese and take it back from us. And the Japanese Empire is not very impressed with that. So that is what they're going to do this turn. How are we going to do it, you ask? Well, we are still unsure what the Caroline Islands fleet's going to do. But we want to have them there to project in all three areas of the map, but also look at other threats and take other territories if we decide not to. But we want to bring in some ships, some landing ships to Hainan Island. And the best for that we're going to bring in is the Nagato and the Yamashiro from this sector. They can move that far. They can go 1, 2, 3. They have a naval base, right? So that's what they're going to do. There's still this Australian transport here. And we're going to put the Nagato down. We'll put a fleet marker here. And we're going to put the Yamashiro there as well. I'll get to non-combats in a second here. What we're going to do here is we have 2 destroyers in Sea Zone 11. And these 2 destroyers are going to go pick up these 2 Marines here that are in Palau, I believe it's Palau, in this sector, and land them on Hainan Island. And we'll just put those guys there. Now, we're also going to bring some planes. Now, Japan has long-range aircraft right now. So, clearly we can do the one in Salmon Island, in Siam, or technically Thailand as well, however you want to phrase it. And it'll have a movement, and it'll probably end up going back to Siam. But we're going to bring in another plane. We're going to bring in this other fighter up here in Korea, which it does have an airbase, so it can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it can land in French Indochina. Just confirm that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, because we can move that extra spot with the airbase, and also we have long-range aircraft. So we're bringing in 6 units, more or less, against the 1 Marine that they're going to be defending with. So they have basically a Marine, which is infantry, but where are they? There they are. So they need a 4. So we're going to roll that, but we're going to roll it with us over here on this attack board. And we'll do all the magic right here. The bombardment shops are going to be here. And we bringing in battleships, so we have need a 4 or less with those 2, and hopefully we get 1 hit. We're going to be bringing in 2 fighters, which are going to be the red, and that's going to be a 6 or less. And then we got the 2 Marines, which will be attacking and will not suffer double casualties, but be attacking at a 2. So let's roll this. It's the only attack we have this turn, and we'll see what happens. Look at that. We got a shot. That Marine is done. He is gone. And we suffer no casualties. So that is wonderful. Plus, we got some other hits, but we didn't really need that. Key thing was the land bombardment shot, which I'm very happy with. Japan can declare that a decisive victory. And I guess I never really changed this icon when the KMT took it over, but it doesn't matter now. That is now Japanese territory. Once again, and the 2 Marines are there. Now, as far as non-combat movements, what I'll do is I'll put a fleet marker down here, but just so you guys know, this plane is going down to, well, actually, you know what, it can land in Thailand, because it's all part of the same sea zone, so that's exactly what they're going to do. This one's also going to go here, and this one in Anantalkin is also going to go here. That's why I upgraded him from a militia last turn, and now he's going to be able to move into there. I don't know what the CCP or the Far East Command are going to do, but I'm evacuating out of this jungle zone. They might want to come through me to go to the Far East Command, or the Far East Command might want to come in through me and go into China right now because they're at war. I want to let them do their thing. I don't want to interfere, so that's why I'm going to leave that territory empty. Who knows what they're going to do, but I'd much rather give them a free way in and not lose anything, and keep a unit, and that's why that $1 will be lost if it does happen. And if it doesn't, so be it. And if I decide I want to block that path on either one, I can move some troops in there next turn, and they'll have to fight me for it. So I think that's a decent strategy. And like I say, we'll see what either faction does with that situation. But obviously, you know, I think there's a battle brewing here in Kwang Tung. Against the Far East Command, because there is quite a few items there. Quite a few. So let's do some non-combat movements now. Relatively simple. So we did that attack move here. Now these 2 destroyers are going to head on up to right here. Yes, they're going to move up into this zone right now. We're going to move the Yamato down, because there's this part of the scenes, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter how they go. And they're going to replace the one that left from the 11th battle group, and that's where they're going to land, right there. And sorry, actually, I made a mistake there. But actually, I'm just going to explain it to you now. These transports, so these destroyers here, we're actually going to leave these SNFLs here, and it was these destroyers that were going to take these Marines and go over to here. It doesn't make a difference, it's the same thing, because they can obviously make it from the naval base, go 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's actually what I was intending on doing. So that's what it is. So these 2 are going to be now on the land, right? So that is good. Those destroyers are back. We're going to also fly this tactical bomber from Japan down here to protect the Caroline Islands, right? It's a very important part in the Pacific, and I want to be able to project threat from it because it's a major naval port to a lot of areas and gives access to a lot of areas. And I'm sure the Americans are going to look at that with bated breath, but they're going to have to fight me for it. That is inevitable for sure. So That's what we've decided to do with that turn. And I think that's probably going to be everything. Bear with me here, guys. I'm going to think about this for a few more turns here, because I do have some movements that I think I had planned. But what I'm going to do probably here, well, yeah, that torpedo boat destroyer. This infantryman is, I believe, in Tokyo here, and I think those two militia are there as well. This one right here is in Honshu, I believe. I could be wrong. Regardless, it doesn't matter. He's going to be in Honshu now if he isn't, because the militia can move around. And I think what we'll do is, the Marines aren't doing me really any good in Japan, so I think we're going to take this transport, and we're going to take that transport. We're going to move them into a different location. We're going to move them down here into this naval base here off the coast of Formosa. And we're going to put both these transports here. This one will have gone here and picked up one. This one will have gone here and picked up one as well. And I think for the most part, that's probably what Japan is going to do. We'll leave everything as is. We got obviously some ships to put on the board. But I think we'll leave our options open. Probably our best bet is to bring these torpedo boat destroyers down here to protect or help protect these transports. This coastal sub as well will come into here, give a little bit more protection. And I think, actually, you know what? This fighter that came down here, it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, he couldn't make it back there. But the fighter that came from Siam, what he can do, I don't have an air base there, so you know what? Honestly, we're not going to worry about that. That's no big deal here. I'm just trying to avoid spreading my fleet too far as well, just in case there are some potential surprise attacks. But you know what? I think I'm happy with it. So I think that's how we're going to leave the game here. And I'll just show you a wide shot there. I don't know if I showed it on camera or not. But yeah, so that's where these guys are. The Yamashiro and the Nagato are in this sea zone. And I'll, like I say, put a fleet marker down for that. Yeah, and then we'll just go from there. And obviously these two Marines are on Hainan Island. These two Marines are on Formosa. And I think that'll be the end of it for Japan's turn. So what Japan will do is we'll put down our units, and we're going to put, it doesn't really matter where we put them because they're all going to be in the same sea zone, but I think it's only fair to put the light cruisers to there. Actually, you know what, we're going to put them all there. And then we'll put all of the infantry, here on, we'll put them on Kyushu. And, and we'll put one, you know what we'll do? We'll put one infantry here. I think we're still pretty safe with Rihi for now. We'll put the other infantry down here as well, because we don't really have any other factories anywhere else. And that's it, guys. That's going to be Japan's turn in a nutshell. And like I say, I'll probably clean this up after Japan's turn is over. Just make it look everything's pretty, but now we're one battleship short down here and 2 destroyers. Not that I'm too worried about it here. These light cruisers as well, they're in a bit better position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if I want to attack there. And they could also go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how we structure that combat sequence. But for the most part, it looks really cool, all these boats in the water now. I just hope they stay away from me. But the problem is, as I said, those submarines are a direct threat, not to the CCP or the Russians, but to the Japanese Navy, right? And I know that. And that gives me a clear intention of what the Americans tend to do. Hopefully they decide not to, because, you know, I don't think it's going to benefit either of us. It'll just benefit the common turn. So we'll see what Jinx has planned for us in 10.4, Britain's turn and France's turn. And hopefully we don't have too many aggressive moves from him against the poor Axis, but we'll see, because we have to worry about that common turn. And as we know, Norway suffered the worst last turn out of everybody. So we're all getting cozy up there, but we'll see what happens in the next turn. Panzer King signing off. You guys all stay classy.